lot every time to draw the picture just to get the idea of what we are talking about. And the first one that we're looking at now is the length. So the formula that we deal with here is x2 minus x1 squared. That is your coordinates. y2 minus y1 squared. That is what we will be using. So if you look now on your worksheet, there's the length formula. I've pasted it there for you. Calculate the distance between the following points. Give your answer correct to 3 significant figures. Now we're going to draw it and then we're going to do the calculation. So in your workbooks now, try now 1. No, page the paper. So if you plot it now there, the first point there is negative 2, 4. And the second one is 5, negative 3. So we just draw them. Please don't draw them precisely and put all the numbers in. It's a waste of time. Just use the applicable ones so that we get the idea. And this is then the line length that we need to calculate. That is what you want to calculate now there. This always forms a right angle triangle. And this is why we can use Pythagoras then here to calculate that length. So it's actually the hypotenuse that you are calculating there. Which one is now this one or this one? Actually, it doesn't matter. That the signs will cancel out, so it won't matter. But you can start with any one. Just to make it easier, we'll take this one as the first one, and this one is the second one. So to do the calculation now, you're going to say negative 2 minus 5 squared plus 4. Now be careful with the signs here. Minus 3 squared, and then you can calculate it. Okay, what is the answer? You need to use your calculator now to get those values. So 9.89, and that is then the length of that one. So we just use the formula and subtract the 2. Yeah, this is what I used. So this is x1, y1, and this is x2, y2. And I just used my formula now there. 9.899. So the rounding is not correct. 9.899, which rounds off. Look at this symbol that we're going to use this symbol for the rounding, and in trigonometry and as well as geometry, which we're also going to do just now, we're going to use it a lot. But I would advise you to listen here. First write that one down, because you're going to use it in a B or C question, and if you haven't rounded it off correctly, and you work with premature rounding like a premature baby, then you're going to have to recalculate it every time. So get used to first writing it like this and then round it off, and that will then be to 3 significant figures. So if you look here, minus 2 minus 5 is negative 7 squared. It's vitally important. It's vitally important that the square will be outside the bracket. If you put that square inside the bracket, you're going to get the wrong answer. And the same here. This is then 7 squared plus 7 squared, so 49 plus 49, the square root of that. So I get the same answer there. But that square must be outside the brackets, otherwise you're going to struggle. Then put extra brackets if you still struggle. Okay, right, now the next one is number B. This time, draw the picture, it's 4, 7. And the second one is negative 5, 9. So there you are, negative 5, 9. And this is the line then that we are calculating. There's Pythagoras. So the purpose is now that you can see it. So use your formula. The only way to learn it is now to use that formula every time. Right, B, C, and D. You are not working. I don't see any sketch up to now. Okay, so let's see. This one is the negative 5 minus 4 squared plus 9 minus 7 squared. Yeah, just a second. I just want to double check. 9.22. Okay, so this one's answer, it rounds then off to 9.22. 2, 2. Okay, C and D. I want you now to try C and D. Right, so the next one is now number C. Still working with the length. Draw the picture there. So it is negative 2, 3, which is almost there. Negative 2, 3. And the second one is then 7, negative 2. So there's your point, 7, negative 2. This is the line that you want to calculate. So can you see? There's your Pythagoras coming up. But I'm just going to use my formula now. So I would like you, so this one time it will be negative 2 minus 7 squared plus 3 minus 2. Look at those signs there. That's very important. And let's quickly get that one. I would like, press your calculator. So it doesn't matter. Then that one is y1. And this is x2 and y2. You can start here, you'll get exactly the same answer. You must just not swap the two, because we get that. Do you have a problem? Okay, what is the answer? 10.3, do you agree? Do you get that? And I would like you to do the last one then there. So that one is going to be negative 11 minus plus, and then the second one is then 1 minus 8 squared. What do we get? Again, please try so that we can see if you get the same answer here. Right, so I want you to draw the pictures. I will draw the pictures to let you understand. You'll see at the next one, they say now find the lengths PQ, QR, and PR. So it's a triangle that you get there. And then you must show that they lie on a straight line, PQ and R. And then the next one is those vertices. So I want you now to do 2 and 3. Geometry, and the one formula that you should have written now at the top seen and highlighted is this one of the length, which is then x minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. And that was what the homework was then also about. Have we marked 1D? Did we finish there? Okay, so now we are looking then now at try now 2. Right, and I said let's draw the pictures just to get it, understand it a little bit more. So the first one is negative 4, 3, which is then P. The second one is negative 2, 2. Q, negative 2, 2, Rain, and I see this is what you were telling me. And then the last one is R, which is 0, 1, which is there. R, 0, 1. So this is more the direction of this straight line. So show that the lengths of PQ, QR, and PR, that's what we need to calculate. So if you work with PQ, you use the coordinates of PQ. And if you calculate QR, that's then the coordinates that you will work with. And the last one is then PR. And actually PR should then be PQ plus QR. Okay, so what was the length of PQ? You can just give me the answer now. 2.24, 3 significant figures, please. QR, also 2.24. And then PR, 4.47, 48, 47. Okay, you round it here. Okay, but it should then be. We do it with this formula. 16 plus 9 is... No, but you'll have to subtract P and Q. You just worked with P and Q separately, but it must be X and Y. You must use this formula. This is... Okay. And then the last one, show that they lie on a straight line, that these ones lie on a straight line. Now that's always difficult. What do they actually want now here? But the fact that PR is equal to PQ plus QR is what shows that it's a straight line. Another word that they use there is that they are collinear. And it also means that they lie on a straight line. So, but all we're going to say is PR is equal to PQ plus QR. That's what you've shown in there. Then we also had number 3 for homework. A triangle. So this time you have a triangle. X, which is 3, 2. There's your point X. The next one is Y, negative 3, 0. Y, negative 3, 0. And then the last one is then 4, negative 1. 4, negative 1. So there's Z, 4, negative 1. Just more or less so that we can see the picture that we have here. This is a triangle this time. Find the lengths of XY, YZ, and XZ. So again, if you have to calculate XY, you work with the coordinates of X and Y. And then YZ and XZ. What is your XY? YZ, 6.32. Okay, 7.1. Okay, 3 significant figures. That's what we go for. 0.7. Okay, then it will be 11, 7.11. It's the last one, XZ, 3.16. 3.16. Okay, and then they say, show that it is a right angle triangle. Now the question is, when is a triangle a right angle triangle? If you can prove Pythagoras, then it will be a right angle triangle. So we have to show that 6.32 squared plus 3.16 squared, you have to use extra brackets there, is equal to 3.16. That's how you show that something is a right angle triangle. You use Pythagoras. And then they say, find the perimeter correct to 3 significant figures. I just have to add, even what is the perimeter? Yeah, 16.55, the perimeter. This is then the perimeter. And the last question there is, find the area of X, Y, Z. Now, this is a right angle triangle, so it's half base times height. So which 2 sides are you going to use? This 2. Okay, because this is the hypotenuse. This is not the base and the height. The base and the height must be perpendicular. So the area is then going to be a half of 3.16, and what's the other one? 6.3. Yeah, but what is that value there? 6.32. Okay, and what is your area then, Ben? Now, if I roughly do it there, it will be the same. Right, now, let's look now at try now 4. Try now 4. So it's still coordinate geometry, and we're still just looking for that first one. We're going to do the second formula today. The distance between, okay, let's look at that one, number 1. The distance between P, which is the point K0, and Q, which is the point 0K, is equal to 10. So now they're asking this question another way, isn't it? But because it's the length, the distance, I will still use Pythagoras. So what does that mean? It means 0 minus K squared plus K minus 0 squared is equal to 10. So it's just another way of asking the same question. Okay? And what will it now be? Yeah, so it will be 1K squared plus another one. So I can say that 2K squared is equal to 10. Yeah, no, but if you square it, it becomes a positive. So K squared is then equal to 5, which makes K equal to the square root of 5, which is 2 point something. 2.24. 2.24. So that's the value of K. So it's another way of asking it. Yeah, I'm actually showing you this one. Right, question 2. So the distance, So you're actually going to do the same thing to say that this is 11 minus 9p. So on this side, I will have 1 minus p minus 1, which is then negative p squared. And then the second one is then plus 1 minus 2p squared. So I simplified that first one. 1 minus 1 is 0, so it falls away. So then you have in the root p squared. Now remember, this is 1 minus 2p times 1 minus 2p. Don't be lazy here because you're going to miss the middle term. So it is then 1 minus 4p plus 4p squared, which is equal to the square root of 11 minus 9p. Now in a case like this, we can eliminate the roots here, so this can fall away because it's on both sides. You square it or you get rid of it. So now here I will add my like terms and I will have 5p squared. So this is then 5p squared, negative 4p plus 9 will then be plus 5p, and plus 1 what? Okay, and I bring it over, then it is minus 10 is equal to 0. Okay, and then I can divide it by 5, so it is then p squared plus p minus 5, no, minus 2, which is equal to 0. Then we can factorize here p, 2, and 1. Signs differ, the biggest combination is positive, and that one is negative. So it means p is equal to negative 2, or p is equal to 1. Okay, and let's look at the last question, number 3 there. They also asked it in a very different way here. R is the point 4, 7. S is the point negative 3, 2. Maxine, can we continue? Okay, and now they want the third point T. That's what they want. But the information that they gave us is that RT is equal to ST. So the hint there at the bottom is let T be K0. So they say T is K0. So now RT means I'm going to work with this one and this one. So it will then be K minus 4 squared plus 0 minus 7 squared is equal to, and then S and T is then the square root of K minus negative 3 squared plus 0 minus 2 squared. That's what you need to calculate now there, because the two sides are equal. Okay, so this is again going to give us K squared minus 8K plus 16 plus 49. And this one is then K plus 3 squared, which makes it K squared plus 6K plus 9 plus 4. Okay. Yeah, Hendrik, it's this one. K minus 4 times K minus 4. So it's that inner outer. No, 9. Negative 4K is 8. 4 times 4 is 16. That's where the 16 is. That's okay, so this time if I bring this one over, the K's will fall away. So plus 6 minus 8 is minus 14K is equal to, and what is 16 plus 49 minus 9 plus 4? 16 plus 49. And then minus 13. 52. And what is then the value of K? 3.71. So this is asking it a little bit more difficult, not just straightforward the length. Okay. So grade 11s in your book, let's take now the next one for today, the midpoint formula. The midpoint formula. And the midpoint is a coordinate that you're going to calculate. So that's, no, plus x2 over 2. It's a coordinate, so that's why I have the comma there. And then y2 plus y1 divided by 2. Because I need to find the midpoint. I need to find the midpoint. Okay, so that you've got the formula then there, and we're now going to do now, try now 5. Calculate the coordinates of the midpoint between the following points. So try now 5. Let's do the first one. I'll do this one together with you. 1, 4, and 8, 6. So, the midpoint is then 9 over 2 and 10 over 2, which is 4.5 and 5. There's the midpoint. Can you see? So there's then the first one, and this is very easy. Can you see? I just need to know my formula, then I can do it. I want you to do, try now 5 and 6 now. So let's quickly find then the midpoints. This is now try now 5. And number, what was number A's answer?
4.5 and 5.
Yeah, so we added 4.5 and 5.
Up to 40% off on selected products all week long at ShopRite. Save on 2 1.25-liter bottles of Coca-Cola, only $24. A 2-kilo bag of Mama's classic rice, just $25. And a 500-gram Sunlight laundry bar, just $11. Only at ShopRite. Lower prices you can trust, always.
Win free airtime with #LearnOn1. Share your comments on the lessons. WhatsApp your feedback, name and town to 081 200 6659. #LearnOn1. Invite learning in.
Was the one about the length, and it looked like this: x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. And I think you can see, if you write it out a few times, then you know what's going on. The second one that we did yesterday was finding that midpoint. And the midpoint is a coordinate that you want to find over 2, so that's why there's a comma, and then 1 plus y2 over 2, and that is the midpoint, just applying the formula. And then the third one we're going to get to today, but let's just quickly mark now, try now 6. We marked number 5. Is that correct? So we're looking now at 6. Try now 6. So you've got those points there, or have we? No, we didn't do this one. -1, 2, that is J. -1, 2. The next one is K, which is 5, 2, so it should lie on the same line. 5, 2, and then 2, 5. So 2, 5 lies here. 2, 5. So there are your 3 points, J, K, and L. Now what you have to prove is that this is an isosceles triangle. So the question is, when will it be isosceles? It will be isosceles if you have 2 equal sides. So it means you have to get the length of those 2 sides. Actually, you will have to get the length of all of them. But again, because I've drawn the picture, I can immediately see that this is the isosceles triangle because these 2 are lying on the same line. It makes it easier. You keep on talking. So is it JL and LK? That's the 2 sides, JL and LK. And what was then the length that you got for this one, Marley, for these 2? JL and LK, 4.24. 4.24. So then you can say they are isosceles. The 2 are isosceles. Make that statement there. The next one is now find the area of the triangle. Now to get this area, again the sketch helps you a lot. We can see that there's the perpendicular height. So it is half base height. So I actually need this length as well, the base, isn't it? Because you don't have the base now, JK. What was JK? 6. So we need that one as well. So area is half base height. So it's half of the base of 6. And oh, you got the midpoint coordinates, and then we can calculate that length here. So the midpoint coordinate here is 2, 2, 2. Yeah, 2, 2. And then we can get the length between these 2 here, which is what? So that's the height, and the area is then 9 square centimeters. Or square units if you don't have centimeters like here. Right, the second question, question 2. Find the perimeter and area of the triangle RST whose vertices are. Again, I hope you can see that the drawing is helping you every time to see what you actually should do. This is then R. S is the point 8, negative 2. Also on the same line is 8, negative 2. And then the last one is T, which is 2, 6. So there's T, 2, 6. So here is your triangle then there. Okay. And now they say, find the perimeter and the area. Now the perimeter means I need all 3 sides. And the area will have to do the same that we did just now. So what is the length of your RS? 12. What is the length of your ST? 9. 10. RT? This one is 9. Is it also 10? So how did you get 9? I used Pythagoras. I used Pythagoras to get that. No, that won't work. Because it's not to scale, so it will definitely not work. You'll have to calculate it. And so the perimeter is then 32. The perimeter is 32. We call it units because it's not centimeters or whatever, then we work with units. And now again, we can do the same thing to get the area that we will have this perpendicular height here. Yeah, okay. So what is the midpoint's coordinates here? 2, negative 2, that's right. And then we need to get the height, we need to calculate this length here of TM, let's call it M, the midpoint. So then you also have to calculate TM. So area is then half base height. And the length of the base was 12.